have never watched my husband work so hard and us still have next to nothing. We've never had credit card debt, and for the first time in our lives, they're maxed out. So when I see celebrities and elites with trust funds get on TV and tell me what's morally right, I'm infuriated. Because you tell me what's morally right about rationing bacon to your children. You tell me what's morally right about not being able to afford Christmas for your children. When's the last time you've had to put back socks at Walmart because you can't afford to buy them for yourself and your children? When's the last time you've asked for your family to pay for groceries for a holiday? Because that's more important than your kids getting new books and new toys. Until you have to do that, shut your mouth about who we've hoped for. Because we're barely hanging on.
I think I watched that 3 times. As painful as it was, that is an indictment of what Kamala Harris has done to this country.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's your man Wise, and today we're checking out a clip from our girl Megyn Kelly, and we gotta talk about these celebrities, the high horse that they sit on, the perch that they look down on us peons. I'm glad, 1, Trump won. 2, I'm glad that influence, the celebrity influence, doesn't weigh nowhere near as much as it once did in the past. And if you are receiving your information on who to vote for in any campaign, more or less the presidential campaign, from a celebrity, you hustling backwards. We're gonna get into this video. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, drop me a comment. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Click that join button down below. Join the ARP family right now. Do it right now. And without further ado, let's go.
We've got to talk about the failure of the celebrity. Oprah Winfrey, you have no power. You do not have any control over this electorate. Neither do you, J-Lo. Let's take a look at Oprah's final closing message on the campaign trail.
We don't get to sit this one out. If we don't show up tomorrow, it is entirely possible that we will not have the opportunity to ever cast a ballot again. We are voting to save ourselves from this precipice of danger.
The gaslighting is on 10 with that one.
We are not listening to you. You do not have the influence you think you do. I got to play J-Lo too. Here we go. Oh, you matter.
I remember growing up thinking my president cared about me, cared about my parents, cared about my neighbors and my community. Not just some Americans, but all Americans. I believe that our kids and this wonderfully progressive, innovative, and inclusive young generation deserve that too. And it is in our hands. It's our responsibility to provide that for them. He has consistently worked to divide us.
Yeah.
At Madison Square Garden, he reminded us who he really is and how he really feels. It wasn't just Puerto Ricans that were offended that day. Okay? It was every Latino in this country. It was humanity and anyone of decent character.
All right, I had enough of her. We get the gist.
I am a mother. I am a sister.
So it is the end. I'm a mother. I'm a sister, and you matter.
Yeah,
really where we went. They do it every time. They parade out the celebrities. I mean, from Taylor Swift to Beyonce to Oprah to J-Lo to Usher to Bruce Springsteen. That's why she got people at her rallies. By the way, Joe Scarborough this morning said, "Never tell me that the rally size matters again." By the way, we knew it didn't matter. Who went to Mitt Romney's rallies? I mean, they were enormous. Would never tell me that they matter. The reason her rallies were big is because Beyonce was there.
But she didn't perform.
No.
If she performed, that might have made the difference.
But I mean, the rallies with just Kamala Harris were not big. And the celeb factor, it doesn't help and I would argue hurts.
I think that watching that J-Lo thing, the first time in my life I've sympathized with Ben Affleck, which is pretty
gosh.
But the other thing that was interesting about that is she came out in support of Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, no kidding.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
J-Lo?
Yes.
Who was the president?
Who was the president when the 55-year-old J-Lo was growing up? She said, when I was growing up, our president cared about us. Thank you, Ronald Reagan. Oprah Winfrey, by the way, when Donald Trump was asked when he was running or flirting with running with the Reform Party, he was asked, who would your vice presidential pick be? And he said Oprah Winfrey. It's a bit of a stab in the back from them.
She sent him a note.
Then or now?
Yeah, then, at the time.
Yeah,
Sent him a note about this.
Yeah,
very friendly, cozy.
And now, I mean, if there's no election, this ridiculousness that there's going to be no election, 4 years from now, I want them all to account for this because no one ever has to account for anything in political prognostication. That's wrong. We need to bring these people forward who said there's going to be no. I mean, her and Stedman, is that his name?
Yeah.
Steadfast?
Yeah.
They'll be on the moon. She's a billionaire. She doesn't worry about voting. She can literally take a rocket to a different planet. And we have to sit there and be like, oh my God, she understands us. But the one thing I will say, final thing about the celebrity stuff, what is the realignment? What are we talking about here? We're talking about working class voters. What really resonates with working class voters? Billionaires like Taylor Swift, billionaires like Oprah Winfrey, multi-millionaires like J-Lo. They understand our issues. It's like, screw you. You have private jets.
Yes.
I'm waiting to get on a Spirit flight. Yeah. Okay. And like and I got stabbed too during that wait. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm getting off my jet to come to this rally and then leaving again. That doesn't resonate, not because they don't like them, not because they don't think they're talented, but they don't think they have anything to say about their own lives.
This
Absolutely. It doesn't resonate because they're not what we're experiencing. We live in two totally different Americas. Oprah Winfrey with her billions of dollars jetting around on, private jets. J-Lo and her 4 husbands, 4 divorces and all this foolishness that she has going on. We live in two totally different Americas. Multimillionaires telling working class people that you need to support someone who legitimately has put them in the position that they're in right now. It's outrageous, man. And the message just is not resonating. We are not idolizing these celebrities like that anymore. Some of it is thanks to the advent of social media. It's because people have more access to these folks. You're more involved in their lives, than we were back in the day. And some of it is, it's just that people see through the lies. And we know that most of these folks, their lives are in shambles personally. So who are you to tell us what we should think, what we should feel, and what direction we should want this country to go?
is the Cardi B speech where she the teleprompter's not working. She has to read it off of the phone.
So dumb.
But then at some point she's like, yeah, I mean, the prices are too high, even for me. Seriously? Are you kidding? Right? Yeah, even for me. At the prices at the grocery store, she promised me to my face she's going to stop the gouging. This is incredible. But I think we talked about this on your show when we were here shortly after the RNC, like the cultural firepower that conservatives actually have at their disposal now. Like the fact that you can appeal to a Dana White, to a Joe Rogan, even to an Elon Musk at this point. Like they actually have power where it matters at the moment in YouTube. Like on the various podcasts,
TikTok,
like it's the Happy Dad guys,
Theo Vaughn,
all of this stuff
Sean
has
Ryan.
actually resonated with people. I have to believe that the Joe Rogan endorsement and certainly the Joe Rogan interview, it's something that you actually hear people referring to
Trump
regularly.
crushed it. He was
like
so
Trump being there for
entertaining
3
that
hours.
whole
And was he exceptional for the entire time? No, but could Kamala Harris do it? Don't think so.
Particularly when they're
I
saying,
And that actually
defend Trump.
matters a
I
lot.
listened to that whole Joe Rogan episode.
What this election has shown us is that legacy media and celebrities do not have the same sway, pull, nowhere near as they used to. It doesn't matter. And that's why you have people like, those ladies on The View, other platforms out there, mainstream media, doing anything that they can to stifle free speech or asking or advocating for the stiflement of free speech. They would prefer to get rid of these platforms. They don't want people like myself and others to have a voice, to have a say. They want all the information funneled through them to us. And it's just not working anymore.
Episode. And I have to say, I thought Trump crushed it. He was so interesting. Joe Rogan was taking him all different places that I'm sure he did not give a heads up on.
Yeah.
And
Like
even if he
Wales?
had, Trump would not. No, but that's a real thing. And by the way, it's one of the
He's
reasons
like the
I'm
whales.
thrilled.
And I was like, what the hell?
But Trump knew his stuff. He knew his stuff. Trust me, as somebody who goes to the Jersey Shore every summer, these windmills are a menace. We're all working against them. They're coming to basically up and down the Jersey shoreline, which is one of the most beautiful coastlines in America. And they already killed them down in Cape May because they got very active down there. But they're still bringing a bunch of them. So it's an issue that we've been studying up on. And they are killing the whales. And Schellenberger did this whole documentary that talks in large part about it. I don't know how Trump knew about it or studied it, but he was able to go in depth on it without any
Which you
direction.
actually
They
need
were
to be able
going
to
there.
do on Rogan. I mean, that's the kind of stuff you have to be
I
able
think
to
was
do.
her fear. And Rogan actually said, we invited her and we want her on. And I'm going to take it easy on her. I just want to have a conversation with her. I want to get to know her as a person. I don't think that was a setup. That's just his,
I think that's right.
his style. He's not somebody who's combative. And people said, oh, like you expect people to come to you. Imagine if you did one interview in the history of your very, very long podcast that is traveling to somebody else. Go see him. Go do it. You can't do it because you just don't have the personality for it. I'm sorry to say.
She
That's
couldn't.
it.
She spent time with a sex podcaster instead. She thought
Oh,
that was gonna drive up.
call the ambulance or whatever it's
the
called.
woman who was talking
Call
about
the daddy
how
about
to
the
use
ambulance.
dildos a week
I mean,
earlier.
don't stop insulting her. That sounds like a great show. We're different on this issue. By the way, the day that Trump, I thought he was like a real person, was on Theo Vaughn's show when Theo Vaughn was talking about doing drugs, and he started interviewing him.
Yes, he did.
And he's like, this is some pretty bad stuff. This is bad stuff. And Theo's like, yeah, man. It's like, and I was like, what is happening? And I was like, this is great. She can't do that. You need to be able to do that. Sorry
That was the ultimate reverse Uno card right there.
to say.
Yeah. You guys enjoyed that, man. I mean, listen, these celebrities, they just don't have that pull like that, man. And I'm glad that the American people are no longer idolizing these people and putting these people on pedestals, like they used to back in the day. I'm glad to see it. I'm glad that that ship has sailed. And I hope it stays that way. If you have young children, don't let your children, idolize these entertainers, these actors, actresses. Don't let them do it. Don't let them do it. It's not worth it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment. Consider joining the ARP family. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. And we'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.